Ever wonder how some companies deliver top-notch server performance without the hefty price tag? Well, today, we're cracking the code on Contavo, a global server hosting provider that's turning heads with their German quality at unbeatable prices.
Yeah, their promise of German quality, it definitely makes you wonder what's the catch, right?
Right. We're diving deep into Contavo's world today, using snippets from their website to uncover their origin story, their values, their recipe for success, the whole 9 yards. And we're kicking things off with a number that's pretty hard to ignore. Ready for this? Over 400,000 servers worldwide.
You're kidding. 400,000.
Nope, not a typo. They've got servers for days. It's especially impressive when you consider they started with just one back in 2003.
Wow, talk about humble beginnings, huh? Starting with a single server to becoming a global powerhouse in just a couple decades. That's incredible.
It's a remarkable journey for sure. But it's not just about rapid expansion. They're laser focused on something they call German quality, and it's woven into every fiber of their operation.
And it makes sense because German quality in the context of server hosting, it's not just a marketing ploy. It signifies this deep-rooted commitment to precision, reliability. Like they've partnered with leading German tech firms known for their crazy rigorous testing standards. Every single piece of hardware they use has to not just meet, but exceed industry benchmarks.
So every server is meticulously inspected, like put through the ringer, before it even gets out the door.
Exactly. And this obsession with quality extends to their data centers as well. We're talking carefully controlled environments, temperature, humidity, all meticulously maintained to ensure optimal server performance and energy efficiency.
And they replicate this meticulous setup across all their locations globally, right? That's where their unified hardware platform comes into play.
Exactly. By using the same top-tier hardware and infrastructure in all their data centers, no matter where they are in the world, Contabo ensures consistency and predictability for their users.
So it's not a guessing game for their customers. They know what they're getting, no matter which Contabo data center they choose.
Precisely. It's like a well-oiled machine or a perfectly synchronized orchestra, every piece working in harmony, delivering the same high-quality experience across the board.
Okay, so they've got the whole German precision thing down, global consistency, impressive stuff. But how do they manage to keep their prices so low? Seriously, it's like they're practically giving away server space.
Yeah, right. It's like, how is that even possible? But Contabo is surprisingly open about how they do it. They're not shy about it at all. They chalk it up to their lean operating model, a real focus on efficiency that kind of permeates their whole company culture.
And they're not just saying it, they're living it. They even mention on their website that their CEO shares an office, which is pretty rare these days. They're all about putting their money where their mouth is, investing in infrastructure, and passing those savings on to the customer instead of like fancy executive suites.
Right, exactly. And this whole frugality thing, it's not about cutting corners. It's more about being smart with their spending. Like, remember those advanced cooling systems they have in their data centers? That's a prime example. Investing in energy-efficient infrastructure up front means lower operating costs down the line, which directly translates into those super competitive prices they offer.
So it's a win-win situation for everyone. Lower costs for Contabo and a smaller environmental footprint to boot. And speaking of smart choices, their approach to hardware selection is fascinating. They're not chasing the latest and greatest processors like some companies. They're thinking long-term, choosing components known for their durability and reliability.
Absolutely. It's a much more sustainable approach that really aligns with their German quality philosophy. They're playing the long game, minimizing the need for constant upgrades and reducing electronic waste in the process. And this efficiency thing, it's everywhere. From streamlining their internal processes to fine-tuning their software stack, they've thought of everything.
Wow, they're like obsessed with optimization, huh?
Seems like it.
But let's switch gears for a second and talk about security, because at the end of the day, when you're trusting a provider with your data, security is paramount. And Contabo, they claim to be obsessed with it. So do their security measures actually live up to the hype?
Well, they're definitely taking a multi-layered approach, which is a good sign. They've got the physical security aspect locked down tight, 24/7 surveillance, super strict access controls. It's like Fort Knox for your data.
Yeah, but it's not just about keeping the bad guys out, right? They also emphasize proactive measures and user responsibility, which I think is smart. Like two-factor authentication, those granular user permissions, they're really empowering their users to be active participants in their own data security, giving them the tools to like take ownership of it.
Yeah, it's like They get it that security is a two-way street, a partnership between them and their users. And that level of transparency, that shared responsibility, it goes a long way in building trust.
Okay, but you know how companies love to load up their websites with glowing testimonials,
Oh,
right?
yeah, totally, those marketing things.
But do Contabo's customers actually, like, walk the walk?
Yeah, it's one thing to say you're the best, but the proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Exactly. And one testimonial in particular caught my eye, from a guy named J.P. Hurley.
Okay, what's his deal?
So he's a self-proclaimed tech veteran,
Mhm.
and he's been around the block, tried out a ton of other hosting providers, so you know he's got high standards.
Okay, tough critic then.
Yeah, tough critic. And he's raving about Contabo.
Huh. What's he saying specifically?
Well, one thing he highlights is their customer service. Says it's miles ahead of the bigger players he's worked with. Even shares a story about a time his server crashed, like in the middle of the night, and Contabo's support team had him back up and running within an hour.
Wow, that's impressive, especially in the middle of the night. You don't expect that.
Right. And it wasn't just a one-time thing. He raves about their consistent performance, too. Says he's seen a noticeable improvement since switching to Contabo.
Okay, so it's not just marketing hype. They seem to be delivering on their promises.
It seems like it. They're quietly winning over customers, one server at a time.
And the fact that many of these customers, they're coming from larger, more established providers that speaks volumes.
Yeah, it shows that Contabo isn't just for startups or small businesses on a shoestring budget. They're attracting users who prioritize value and performance, no matter how big or small they are.
So they're kind of shaking things up by simply offering a better product at a better price. Almost sounds too good to be true.
Right, almost. It really makes you wonder, can they maintain this level of quality and affordability as they grow? Only time will tell, I guess.
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
It really will. But here's a thought. What if Contabo's success inspires others? Like, what if their transparency about pricing, their focus on sustainability, their customer-first approach, what if those became the new standard for the entire hosting industry?
Man, that would be a game changer. Consumers would have more power, more options, and it would push everyone to up their game.
Exactly. Well, one thing's for sure. Contabo's journey from a single server in a German apartment to a global contender, it's pretty inspiring.
Absolutely. Shows what can happen when you combine a great product with a smart strategy.
Proof that you don't need flashy marketing or a billion-dollar HQ to make a real impact. Contabo's success comes down to dedication, efficiency, and putting the customer first.
It's a good lesson for any business, really.
Totally agree. Well, this deep dive has definitely given me a lot to think about, and to anyone listening, I encourage you to check out Contabo for yourselves. You might be surprised at what you find. Until next time.